This is how you can make this Iman Gadzhi effect entirely in Premiere Pro. Firstly, you'll want to use the rectangle tool to create a new shape. Go to the Essential Graphics panel, and here you'll want to look for the Corner Radius property and change its value to 15. Name the layer Shape Fill. Next, duplicate the shape layer, and again you'll have to go to the Essential Graphics panel. Uncheck Fill, check Stroke, and set its value to 6. Name the layer Shape Stroke Mask. Now if you take a look at the shape in the Iman Gadzhi's video, you'll notice that the stroke has a fade. It is brighter at the bottom, and it gets progressively darker towards the top. To do this, we'll duplicate the layer Shape Stroke Mask, and name this one Shape Stroke Opacity, and change its opacity to 50%. Go to Shape Stroke Mask, create a mask, and position it on the bottom half of the shape. Increase the mask feather and expansion as you see fit. Let's get to animating this. Add a transform effect on Shape Fill layer. Uncheck Use Composition's Shutter Angle and set it to 360. Uncheck Uniform Scale and add a keyframe for scale height. Set the value to 0.4. Go a bit ahead, add another keyframe and set it to 100. Select both keyframes, right-click on one, and set the mode to Ease Out. Right-click again and click on Ease In this time. Your keyframes should look like this now. Copy the transform effect to Shape Stroke Mask and Shape Stroke Opacity. Press play, and you should see something similar to this. Now let's add the other elements. Let's start with the avatar. I'll add the link to the one I am using in the description. Grab your picture, put it here, resize it, and then add a color key effect. Use the eyedropper, take a sample, and change the edge thin to 2. Next, search for crop, drag it in, change the right one to 54, bottom to 51, left to 12.5, and top to 7.3. Search for brightness and contrast. Set brightness to 100 and contrast to -100. Resize the avatar. Right-click on the avatar layer and select Nest. Create a mask, press the mask path stopwatch icon. For the first keyframe, try to bring the corners really close and make the mask really slim. And for the second keyframe, resize it so that the full avatar is showing. Play around with the keyframes so that it matches with the speed of the other layers. Alternatively, you can use the crop effect. Now let's animate the avatar so that the other elements will fit in. Let's start by making it smaller. Add a transform effect, go right where the opacity mask effect ended, and add a keyframe for scale and position. Go a bit further and add a second keyframe for both. Change the mode to Ease Out and Ease In. Let's add the text next. I will add Online Personal Trainer, just like Iman. I will start by adding all 3 words in the same text layer first, and then create a text layer for every word. That's the easiest way to do the same pop-in animation for the text. To have your text appear the same way, just go to every word, add a mask, make sure that the bottom part of the mask is aligned under the text, add a transform effect, add a keyframe for the start of the animation, and a second one for the end. For the first keyframe, change the position of the text to be hidden down, and for the second keyframe, change its position to its default one. Change the keyframe mode to Ease Out and Ease In. Now, in case you want to make your text disappear to the left, first you'll want to nest your text layers together, and then add a mask around the main shape and a transform effect to your nested text layers. Create a keyframe for position, and voila! You've done it! After adding in the other icons, this is how it looks like. I applied the same tactic that I've used for the text animation. Now if you want to make it have a 3D effect, you can just add simple 3D and mess around with the settings. Here are mine. And this is the final look.